There goes.
Okay. Episode 1, part 2. Because we dumb. We didn't know that there was a time limit on this. So a lot of these are probably going to end up being like 2 parts. Because we don't want to cut things short.
I've never been big on fine print. I did not read.
It probably said that.
I'm sure it did. I was like, whatever.
It was probably number 1 on there. By the way, it's 60 minutes long. Hey, whatever. Whatever you learn. That's why you trial and error these things.
Yeah. That's why we're interviewing ourselves and not the real people.
That's right. That's right. and Wenk's with us now.
Hey.
Hey.
Hi.
Come in here. Come on in.
Get on in here.
What?
Come on in here.
Wenk's gonna be part of this because we need him in here.
Ooh. Yep. I about fell over.
He's gonna keep us on track.
He has a unique perspective.
He does. Wenk's been in this music scene, local music scene, since it started. Since I've ever started, for sure. And and he's gonna be part of all this.
What do you
Give us
think?
a different kind of perspective on things, especially live shows. Been to a lot of live shows.
We got to go back for him. Like, we need to ask
will.
him some
We got
serious
time.
questions.
We're gonna
We've
keep
got
track.
an hour. We
We're
got a
gonna keep track.
stopwatch.
We're gonna keep track of this time.
I need to address something before we continue. I feel like the lighting in this kitchen is not that harsh, BT dubs, as you complained about during my potty break last time. This is my workspace.
It was
I
not
need to
up
see.
for discussion. It was a general statement. It is true, by the way.
Opinion.
Is it
It's
opinion?
an opinion.
It was the right one. So I'll continue with where I left off a little bit. I got cut short on the war I survived. Side note: the other guitarist in the band was not named Josh. It was named Jim.
How drunk do you think you were by the end of that night?
I don't think I was that drunk. I just think I have an awful memory.
Oh yeah, me too.
I
I get it.
don't drink.
No. Nope. Cue the opening
name
can
was
sound.
2 beers left. 2 beers left in that 12.
Exactly. What 12th pack? I still don't remember his last name. His name was Jim. And if anyone wants to go back and look,
Who was in Face Cage?
he was in
Okay.
Face Cage. And where I survived played a Halloween show. I think it was Halloween Palooza at the Green Street where he played with us.
Huh.
I was dressed as Zombie Elvis.
I think I recall that. That sounds super familiar.
There's pictures.
I might have been there.
Might have been at that one.
It's on the
Yeah.
online somewhere.
Such a blur.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you do the zombie walk?
Did you do zombie Elvis?
Yeah.
though?
Only once. Well, that year I did it. Probably a couple times that year.
Did you do the zombie walk? Did you lead the zombie walk that same year?
No,
Oh.
I didn't lead it back then.
We might not have seen
That,
that.
Oh,
maybe
maybe
that,
not.
I think we
Yeah.
did.
that
maybe
wasn't.
just
Oh no,
pictures.
because the year that you were there,
So I only
Chong,
heard-
I was in a wheelchair.
I only heard stories of you as zombie Elvis. I don't think I ever saw you.
Oh
as
really? Well, pictures will come out now.
There might
Oh,
be
you gotta
one
get
of
those-
us at
glorious.
courtside,
I was at courtside as Zombie Elvis.
but we might not have went to that show.
I don't know.
That could be. So
We will find a picture.
yes, it's gonna happen. So the before we booted out Ryan and added Bollinger into the War I Survived, it was a 4-piece, and it was actually called Miraval.
What?
It was called Miraval, which is Latin for my rival.
Oh, I'm like, are those English words?
Yeah, no,
Okay.
totally not English
All right, well,
words.
that's
It's a
why-
different language.
Sometimes I just don't hear good.
It's a dead language.
Okay.
And I never liked the name. If you like Google Miraval or YouTube it, it brings up a whole bunch of Latin stuff. Nothing. Well, there was
'Cause it's
that
Latin.
band didn't last long either. But so then we added Jason, changed the name to The War I Survived, which is a Slats song.
It's a great one.
That's where we took it from. Shout out to Slats.
Yeah,
Well deserved.
so good.
and I'll mention Slats again later as I get a little more into the War Survive. So we just essentially Jim ended up leaving the band because he didn't want to drive down from Des Moines, and he had a kid. It was taking up a lot of time, as they tend to do.
Understatement.
Right? Yeah. So then we thought about adding another member for a while, but it was working well as a 3-piece, and played a lot of shows, did a couple tours, did a couple Midwest loops, which was a blast. Had a lot of fun. Played with a lot of people. Had some really awful shows on tour because you played during the week on like a Monday and Tuesday in a town where no one knows who we are, and you end up playing to the bartender.
How many times do you think that's happened in your life?
In my life?
Yeah.
I can recall 4 that were on those 2 tours. They were awful. One was in St. Louis.
I've heard that story.
Where we played at it was a Mexican restaurant, and it was a Monday or a Tuesday, and the bartender was there, and 3 of Milani's friends were there. That's when she was in the band. We added her, and that was it. And we're the only band playing. Nobody there, and the bartender felt really bad. There was nobody there. Usually the band would get like PBR all night or something. Well, he was like, "You guys can open bar. I feel bad." So me and Nick got shit-faced drunk, and JJ Studebaker, our merch guy, Jared Glasgow, shout out. And yeah, it was the first time I drank Stella. Sucks. Not a fan.
Stella?
Yeah,
Skunky.
Yeah, not a fan of the Artois.
It's not that great.
Yeah, I don't like it. So
Prefer
that one
the-
was terrible.
Prefer the Coors Light.
I prefer the Coors Light. I don't drink alcohol. Another very memorable, awful show, but it was still fun, was in Burlington, Iowa, on probably a Sunday. Only band. We might have been another band booked, but they're like, it's a Sunday, we're not playing. I think it was really shitty weather, too, like raining. And there were 3 people there. One was a sound guy. One was someone Jason knew that wrote for the paper in Burlington. And the other one was my #1 fan, Jason Daines. That was the first time I met Jason Daines. Shout out Jason Daines. That's the first time I met Jason. And he just happened to be like walking by when we were loading in. And he was from Ottumwa and recognized Nick and asked what was going on. Didn't even know about it. It was at a place called the Washington, which is a great room. Love that venue. And he ended up coming back and seeing the show. And that was one of the ones where it's like, we've always said we'll play the same show for 5 or 500 or 5,000, whatever. And there's 3 people. So it's like, am I going to kill myself tonight for nobody? Am I going to break myself for no one? So we'd be like, I think we were a second song in, and I give Nick a look, and we're both like, fuck it. And we just tore the fucker down. Yeah, fuck it. What's the point of not doing it? So I don't remember any of the good shows because you only remember the awful shows. But we did that for really steadily for 5 years, and then Nick got health issues. Ended up having a heart bypass at like 32. Your typical stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, then we had to take some time off, and everyone else kind of did their thing. I didn't do a lot. Now we're rocking and rolling again. Currently.
Exciting.
Yeah.
First shows in a couple weeks.
A week and a day.
Oh shit! It's like a week. Yeah, it's a week
That's
and a day.
next Friday.
That's next week.
January 24th.
Balls.
If this gets out before that.
It will. I'll make it happen.
Okay.
God.
Yeah. But we did some music in between The War I Survived not playing and The War I Survived playing again.
Yeah.
Explain yourself
Explain myself.
with Kazuki, because I don't think it made the last one.
No, it
Probably
did. We didn't talk about Kazuki.
Explain yourself.
I think we talked about some open mics that was mentioned, but so Yeah, we ended up doing Kazuki, which was a project where we had 2 tiny guitars. Well, a bass ukulele and a tiny kid's guitar.
Thanks to you, basic.
Yeah, I found that at a thrift shop, real cheap. And 2 kazoos, and we did only songs from Green Day's Dookie album.
Which is great.
It was so good. But the way it came up was like I had heard the song She. I don't know, it came up one day and I couldn't get out of my head, so I came home from work on lunch break and picked up the tiny guitar and the kazoo, which just happened to be on the mantle. And I learned the song real quick and I recorded myself. I remember taking a video of myself of like 30 seconds maybe.
Something like that was short.
It was real short, maybe even 15. It was super short because I couldn't kazoo right. I didn't know what I was doing. I think I had it in backwards even.
Yeah, using it the wrong way.
I was
backwards?
just, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was backwards.
Oh my
We gotta
God.
see if we still. I probably still have a clip of that on my iCloud.
It's probably on my phone.
Yeah. But that'd be fun to post on along with this. Right. But like, so I remember sending it to both of you, like, and I'm saying something like "new project," and your enthusiasm, Cole, was just like, "Holy shit, yes!"
My first thought on it was, is that fucking She? Like, Green Day? What the hell? And yeah, I didn't know what it was, but I wanted to be a part of it.
And I don't know, we just ended up. I was like, "Hey, can you tune that bass ukulele to like a regular bass?" And you're like, "Google says yes." That was your exact response. Google says yes.
I didn't know. I never played a uke.
I know, and it was just sitting here
Yeah.
because I bought it at the thrift shop. You said you wanted it, and you paid me, and then you left it here. I don't think
I
you
took
did.
it home for a while.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because I learned how to play a couple actual songs on the ukulele, tune
yeah.
like the ukulele.
And then it's been here since then, though. But-
Well, I have.
Did you restring it?
No, I've never.
no, we
restrung.
never.
Oh wait, yes I did.
You bought
ordered
strings and you got the
bought
wrong
strings and
strings,
you
right?
got the wrong strings. You got the wrong strings.
Apparently, it's
Say I
really
split it.
hard to find bass ukulele strings, acoustic. Anyway, yeah.
I still don't know that bass ukulele is a thing, but
Apparently it is. Yeah,
It is.
there's different,
I get
different.
it.
You know, just like a saxophone or a whatever
Alto sax,
whispermophone,
funny.
saxophone.
saxophones.
Have you seen one of those weird little instruments that make like a sound? Have you seen it?
The one where you squeeze and the mouth opens.
Yes!
Yeah. Yes.
the
It's
creepiest
just
thing
weird that I
I've
know what you're
ever
talking about.
This is the whole Pilla experience.
Yes, it is.
Oh
See, I don't have to
Oh
know
my
things.
God.
You guys understand what I'm
we
saying.
just are
We
all.
speak coal.
We speak. We're basically your translators for this
I don't know. You
podcast.
should be proud of that.
I'm pretty sure we should just be that's what we are. That's our titles, translators.
You translate.
Yeah, I don't remember what the fuck those are called. It's
I
something
don't know.
weird.
They're really, really creepy.
I want to get one. They're only like the little ones are only like 20 something.
I've seen people have like choirs of them.
Oh, that's
Sounds
awesome.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember what the shit those are
I
called.
don't know, but they're really strange.
I'll have to Google that
Yeah.
and talk about it next time.
Yeah.
Get and order one.
We gotta get
I'm gonna
one.
order one.
Learn how to play it. Smell a new band.
Bing light bulb. Okay, so we
So
did
you did-
Kazuki. We did one open mic. What
We
were
did
the
2
three?
open mics.
Yeah, well, we did one,
Oh, we
and then
did
we
one.
decided it was too fun, and we,
We
did
decided
another
to do
one.
one first.
And we learned 2 more songs and did She again. We did She both at both of them.
I feel like that's our song. It's kind of
Yeah.
our go-to.
That was like my favorite song on that album.
It is,
It's
yeah.
a good fucking song.
I liked it from day one.
Yeah. I like, she is very good in Pulling Teeth is one of my
Yeah,
favorites.
we did
on
that. We ended up doing that one,
I
didn't
think we
yeah.
did, yeah.
And the
It's good,
second,
too.
the second one.
The whole album. So good. Yeah, and then something happened, and we wanted to form a real band and play only night. Well,
real
forever
cover
we were
band.
talking about we wanted to play '90s rock.
But Wenk, that was like your dream.
really wanted to do that.
that's-
I wanted
You
to
talked
call
about it for a couple of years.
Yeah, we talked about it.
Yeah,
for a
we
long
talked
time.
about it disc golfing for
Yeah,
a few
because
years.
I'd make you like just play '90s rock. Just play some '90s rock.
And that's what it was down to, yeah. Just playing the shit we wanted to hear and grew up on. And
I wanted to call it '90s on 9. But,
it's no lawsuit waiting to happen.
right?
You
I
know?
don't think so.
Fucking XM. Knocking on your door.
Right.
Bastards.
It was just,
Yeah, that was your passion project.
I don't know about that, but yeah, it was something I just wanted to do. I'd never been in a band, and
We've always been around the scene.
I've just been around it. I mean, between all of my friends and, I went and saw my cousin's multiple bands of his play. I just always thought it'd be fun. Loved singing, was in choir, and...
That's where I met you.
Y'all met in choir?
Choir.
Yeah.
What?
Troubadours.
Troubadours,
Yeah.
fact.
I probably knew that, but I forget shit.
He was a tenor. I was a bass.
Aw.
We were,
It's fact.
even though he's a foot
Wasn't that
taller
a country
than me.
song?
Mama was a tenor, and
No, I'm
Daddy was
pretty
a
sure
bass.
it was kind of a Brokeback
Shit like
Mountain
that.
thing. I don't
It
know.
was gay.
I just...
Oh.
Yeah. No, I was just fact that
Oh, sorry.
I loved choir. It was great. And I love singing, and
Yeah.
I realized I had friends and a wife that were able to play the instruments, and
The instruments.
dicked around with
The
that for a little bit,
instruments.
and it was fun.
And convinced us. Why don't you tell us who you convinced? Who all you convinced to get together and jam?
Oh, so Cole played the bass, and Mel played guitar, and Josh Strathman played guitar. And
Shout out.
Shout out to Josh.
Ben Marble, if he's been brought up or anything, he played the drums, and we practiced I don't know. Did we get to 10 times? Maybe
No.
close to.
If it wasn't, we were doing
Six.
pretty good. Because
That last
some of
practice
them were
is-
sounding real good.
Awesome.
I thought there was going to be a show sooner than later after that. And
Our goal was Oktoberfest.
Oktoberfest.
Hashtag Oktoberfest. That's every cover band's dream in South.
Did we ever
Yeah.
say like Oktoberfest or like Oktoberfest like weekend night? Because who the fuck goes to the bands
We
on,
we
like,
were
Thursday or
debating
something?
that. I mean, I think
Or
we
was it
did
just
say
to
like
make it to the
weekend night
stage?
would be the shit.
The Saturday is what you want.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the
the
shit
Saturday.
right there. That's when all the drunk
I don't know
folks
if you
is
can
out.
just get the Saturday though.
You
That's
gotta
for
know
certain.
someone.
Yeah.
Be blowing someone, yeah. Fact.
Right. Yeah.
Just saying.
That's how you get anywhere in life. At least that's what they tell me.
That's rumor.
That's what I've been doing. And it took us forever to come up with a name for that band.
Yeah, it did. So many nights of just hanging out and just spouting off shit.
Stupid crap.
Random 90s quotes. At one point in time, I think
What
we're
were we
just...
called? Didn't we have a name for a while?
We had a few,
What the fuck?
and then but we were like, I don't like it or something, or then we'd
It
find
was
out somebody
usually
else
me
had it.
saying, I don't know.
I feel like there's one where we found out there was another band that already had it.
Yeah.
And then eventually we went down this path of, I don't know why, but we got on Wayne's World.
Because you were
quotes.
like watching it, weren't
'Cause
you?
yeah, I was
You
watching
like were
it.
obsessively
But I feel
watching
like-
it at the time.
Over and over, I
Yeah.
think, yeah. Well, that's the 90s
Like quintessential
Yeah.
90s.
movie.
So were you like
and
watching
it has to do a lot with music.
You were watching it for
How did it-
inspiration or what?
I don't know.
I think I was just at home watching it. Me and my wife were watching it, and it's like just on. It's like, blah blah blah. I wasn't even paying attention. I was probably on my phone, and she was probably on her phone, and it was just in the background, and it was that scene where they're laying on
president. She'd be Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah. they're laying on the car, and it said that, and I kind of came to. I'm like, what the fuck? I look at Megan, and she's like, how's that not your name? So she named the band.
Yeah, that's true. Because, you brought it to us and we were like, yeah.
I think immediately I text you.
Yeah.
I'm like, so I got the band name. It's not up for discussion anymore. This is what it is.
Yeah, and it.
Everybody's
Abraham
like, yep.
Lincoln.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
was, we were sold. Ready to
Then we were like talking
Right,
about
make-
logos.
We're making logos and ready to get 100 shirts printed off. And,
Wasn't it gonna
you know,
be like it was gonna be like a pinup model with Abe's face or
Face.
something?
Yeah.
Or like a model, but with his beard and top hat or
Yeah.
something. That was, yeah.
I was
There's a lot of
envisioning a
good
whole just
ideas.
Abraham Lincoln face with beard, top hat, and
That would
on
be-
a hot chick's body.
Chick body,
Yeah.
That'd be good.
And like a American flag bikini or
Yes,
something.
yeah.
No.
Still gonna use that for something.
You know.
Maybe
Yeah.
we'll bring it back.
I was going to say all those.
There are plenty of
It's over.
Oktoberfest
That's right. They're
to
not
be
gonna
played.
stop. Our goal, Oktoberfest
Yeah.
2030.
Jesus.
It's not that far
I don't
away,
wanna-
really, honestly.
I don't want to push it.
2020.
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
It's already 2020.
You'll barely be 50.
Wow, when you put it that way, it'll just...
Plenty of time.
All right, so then
So then we did we practiced with the Abraham stuff for a while.
that fizzled out.
Yeah, as they tend to do. Do you want to backtrack with some experience and stuff with this bearded fella? I'm gonna say long-haired fella. Your hair's getting long.
Long-haired, freaky people.
Long-haired, freaky people.
Yeah, we could do that.
We don't have to.
Get out of here.
Whatever.
I was gonna say, like,
No.
I think I would like to know, like, if you can recall, Wenk, what one of your first local shows around here would have been.
Oh yeah.
It's not hard to recall that one. That was seeing Crete and Smack Dab at
Roadhouse.
Yeah, Mark
Whatever it was
Roadhouse.
I was there.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I was at that same show. I didn't even know you then.
So
I remember hearing of Crete back in the day before.
It was absent. It was
Yeah.
Barrier was a
yeah,
good
it
singer.
is, yeah.
Poor fella I kicked out of.
Jesus.
He's playing with Green Death. He's doing fine.
He's okay right now, I'd say. But no, that was back when I mean, hanging out with Chris Pitson all the time. Who I mean, that's where all my he opened my world to music, I guess. Just
Shout out to Chris Benson.
Shout out,
kidding.
Chris.
I want to say like I came back from like a baseball game or like football practice or something, and he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna go to this show," and I'm like, all right, whatever. And I went to this show wearing sandals, and I mean, people are moshing and shit, and I fell in love with both bands, but still Smack Dab to this day. Like I don't know. I wish that band could have, stuck around a little bit longer. But that was the first local show I had gone to, and I would have been in high school sometime.
Pre 2000,
Yeah,
Oh,
2000
definitely.
ish.
I think
Pre
I was.
2000.
98, 99, might have been 2000.
Nah, it was before that. I don't know if I was in high school when that show.
That's very possible. It was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was. I was there with Burnt. That's how long ago that was.
So you're like 15.
Or younger. Yeah, quite possibly younger.
I didn't know that one until I listened to this.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know about Burn.
You weren't missing much. You weren't.
That's the one Matt Cravens was in with you, right?
Matt drummed for us.
okay.
Shout out to Matt.
Matt Cravens.
There you go. Yeah.
Was that your first show? Or that only your first local show? Did you
That's
go
just
to-
my first local show.
Have you gone to a larger concert before?
Yeah, the first show I ever went to was called Edge Fest, and it would have been like the summer before 8th grade, I want to say.
Okay.
And it was in Omaha. It was like the second or third year of doing it, and the band I went to go see that I was most excited to see was the Refreshments. That was
Oh, yeah.
a band that I don't know, I still love them to this day. And the headliners of it was Sugar Ray, and this was just like a month after Fly was on MTV.
Everywhere.
You told me about
And
this. Yeah.
the other one was Smash Mouth, and this was like
jeez.
freaking weeks after
Wow.
Walking on the Sun was everywhere.
Right.
And I mean,
Pop
I
nightmare.
you know what? Talk all the crap you want, but that Sugar Ray album it's good. I like it.
You
It's
get
fun.
past Fly, and it's better.
Yeah, there's better stuff on it, but no, that was the first one I went to. It had a bunch of like local smaller bands before it that opened. That there wasn't anything that stuck out of my head. Like, I'll never forget that show though, because I'm all of God, I would have been what, 13 maybe.
Around that.
And so I go with my parents, and we get, I'm hanging out up in the mosh pit, up right in front of the stage the whole show pretty much. And I'm sitting there watching a band. This is later in the day, and chick that's crowd surfing just lands on me. I still remember this like it's yesterday. I pushed her off of me, and I'm just sitting there, and then all of a sudden someone grabs me from behind and just drags me out. I'm like, what the hell's going on? And I look, and it's a security guard, and I'm like, whoa, what's going on? And he hands me to the next security guard, and he walks me a little ways, hands me the next one, and I get probably handed to 5 different guys before I finally get someone to talk to me. I'm like, what's going on? And he's like, I don't know, but you're getting kicked out. That's all. I'm like, what the hell's going on? And they pass me, and
It was like a weird game of telephone,
Yeah,
just passing a dude. I don't know. Okay, keep
Get him
passing.
out.
so they give, eventually I get to the last one, and he's up on this gate up on the top of the hill, and he, I go outside the gate, and he shuts the gate, and I'm just like, what in the hell is going on here? He's like, I don't know, but it's, for whatever reason you're getting kicked out. And I'm like, holy crap, this is crazy. I'm $13 in my pocket.
This is pre-cell phone
pre-cell
days.
phone.
Pre-cell phone. So I'm, eventually I'm just sitting there, remember watching the Refreshments, the band I wanted to see from the outside. I mean, I could see all of it, but it just was like, it killed me. Mm-hmm. And then I saw somebody that I was, friends with. I was like, hey, this happened. Can you go and try to find my parents or my cousin or someone and so I can buy another ticket or whatever and get back in? And it's getting later in the day. I'm just like, what in the hell? So eventually I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to scout this out, see if I can at least see my parents, or something. And I walk all the way around the entire venue to the other side, and I get to this point where it's at the corner of a building and the fence where it meets it. And there's a line of people there standing there waiting to use the payphone. And I walk up and I'm like, this might be my spot. And I walk up to the people in the line and I'm like, hey, do me a favor and just look out, be on the watch out for me. They're like, okay. And we're looking, and I hop up and over the fence and land next to him, and I just stand there in line for a little bit, and I'm like, all right, we're good. See you later. Thanks, guys. And I go back in, I go and find my parents, and I tell them the entire story, and there's it was crazy weird. And
That was in Omaha?
yeah.
Yeah, what was the venue? Was it a field or like...
Yeah, it was a field. I can't remember the name of
No,
it.
they've had a bunch of different
there's a lot of different
festivals throughout the years in different places
Yeah.
in Omaha. So.
And then went into Taco Bell later that night, and I was going in the door, and I literally just bleach blonde my hair and short, spiky, and I'm pulling the door open. I hear someone yell, "Sugar Ray!" And I turn and look, and the guy's like, "Oh, I thought you were someone else." Like, dude thought I was Mark McGrath walking in.
Yeah, I doubt it.
I swear to God. I swear to
And
God.
you really think he thought that, or he was just giving you shit because you were 13? With
Hey, that might
I
have been true.
swear to God. It's very possible, but I swear to God that happened.
Wow.
Like, my dad was there. He'd probably remember that
We need to
story,
talk to
but
Mike about that.
I swear to God that.
Yeah, Mike, Puddler's Gun Podcast.
Like, yeah, that was my first show and experience that I will never ever forget.
Those
Never
outdoor
forget.
shows are nuts. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't.
Side note: Mark McGrath is actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
He was a 2-on-XM. He's actually pretty funny. And shit.
Yeah. Florida's a great album. I'm telling you.
Sure.
Yeah.
Take your word for it.
Yeah, sure.
Jerks.
I mean, I've listened to it a couple times. Yeah.
Lemonade and Brownies is also a great album. The one before.
It's a dumbass title.
Jeez. All right.
I'll give it a chance.
Sure you will.
I will.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Mel,
It's happening.
it's top 5 bands.
Oh, God damn it.
She's not going to answer this question.
She answered it last time. It doesn't have to be your top 5
Yeah, we
bands
kept talking
of all
after it
time.
cut off.
It can be...
So you've already done
I
the
know,
show.
it's gonna be...
You just
it's
got to
gonna-
remember what you said.
No, and it's not even going to be the same
No.
5 things I said last time because I was drunk and I couldn't think good.
I realize how evil that is to do to anybody.
Yeah.
So we'll do top 5 bands that you're into right now.
It's particularly fucking evil for me because I have a
Right
really hard
now.
time choosing favorites.
5 bands
Even right
you listen
now.
to right now. They've
Okay.
probably changed since the last time we did this
It
and we
did.
thought it was
Absolutely did.
So, yeah, like, go with what are your top
Okay,
5
well, here we
things you're
go.
listening to
Right
now?
now,
That
okay,
would-
we'll start right now. I listened to Radiohead all day today.
It's because you watched that basement thing.
Yeah,
But yeah,
Turned
last
on.
night, and then it was
Yeah,
just
it's
in my
good.
head all day. I listened to all this. I might actually learn a couple songs and do my open mic next week. I don't know.
That'd be
I'm
awesome.
debating it. And then King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. I've been listening the shit out of those guys lately.
I don't know what that is.
Wow.
Awesome, like
Really good.
proggy.
It's everything.
They do all-
Apparently, it's everything.
They're
because they
amazing. It's like
play every-
it's
they
like a
cover every
7-piece from Australia, and it's rock oriented, but it's like they do a lot of proggy stuff. They put out 2 albums this year, and one was really like, I don't know, bubbly and proggy, like time signature. It was kind of like Frank Zappa meets The Dead, but not at all. Not at all. And then their second album was just fucking thrashy.
Yeah.
Just like
Brutal.
brutal, balls to the wall, like just banging, fucking heavy.
Is that the one we listened to last night?
Yes.
Or what they played it from?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got some brutal
good.
breakdowns.
So good. So fucking
I'd
good.
heard of them before, and
And they didn't
I
sound
guess
like
never
that
really,
before.
Yeah.
They sound different every album.
That's
like,
crazy.
I
need
love
to
them.
listen to more of that.
It's good stuff. They're gonna be in Chicago like in, I don't know, April or something. That might be fun to see. But like, what else? Okay, there's 2. There's this dude, Michael Kiwanuka, that I was listening to a bunch lately. It's this, he put out an album this year. It's pretty good, like soul rock. Salt, SAULT. And listening
It's not how you spell salt.
well, that's how these motherfuckers did. I think that's how it's pronounced. I don't know. Salt.
Are they German?
Salt. I don't know. No, I think they're from the UK. But they're
Do
like,
they even know? Is that the band? No one. They didn't know who it was.
nobody's sure who's all in it. Like, they're pretty sure. There's like this DJ.
Like nobody knows who's in it?
There's this DJ. Last I knew, like, there's a DJ and then like one lady or maybe 2 singers. I don't know. It might be 2 lady singers. But it's just like
It's interesting.
funky, dancey,
Super interesting.
soul pop. It's really low key most of the time, but like, I don't know. It's so good. Like
Sounds
I just
suspicious.
like 3. I had like 3 or 4 days in a row where that's like all I listened to, and because they've also put out 2 albums this year, and both were phenomenal.
Wow.
How many is that? 4. Yeah, this is way different than the last
Stop. I know.
5.
I think
I don't think any of these were on the last
I was, like
one.
I said, I was drunk last time too. I was under pressure. I hate choosing favorites so fucking hard.
This is going to be great
She
because we're going to
hates
do this
shoes.
every time, and hers is going to be different every time.
It will. It's true.
That's good.
That's true.
Shout out to Salt.
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 Yeah, you gotta listen. They're good. There's one more. I don't know. I don't know what I could throw in there.
Yeah. Totally fun.
I haven't listened to them
listened
for a
much,
while.
yeah.
I wore their shirt yesterday.
They were on your list a week ago.
Were they?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll throw them on this
Christ.
week.
This week's favorite that Mel forgot about.
Holy fun.
Mel P and
That's
the weekly
Mel's.
top 5.
Yeah, we'll go with it. Sure.
Wink,
Next.
what do you got? You can't say all the things she just said.
No, I turn on different stuff.
Okay, what do you got?
I mean, let's be real. I'm always listening to probably always listening to a Grateful Dead show.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do that. There's
No,
enough
no,
of
do that.
them.
There's
enough of them.
like thousands,
All of them.
or at least 1,000.
I wonder
multiple
how many
thousands.
hours of recordings there are of their like ridiculous.
Considering each show is usually like 3 hours plus.
And they would tour so extensively back in the day.
We're a jam band. That's what they do.
I will always listen to Yonder, preferably with Jeff Austin, the early days of it. That
yeah.
was
R.I.P.
hands down one of my favorite things to listen to. I don't know. I will never turn down Tool or Rage.
That's right.
Those are Rage. God, I hope I get a chance to see them.
Hoping.
Yeah, I don't know. Fifth one.
Let's say 6, so the 5's not so hard to find.
Oh, no. Charlie Parr. I mean, I can never...
Did you listen to that new one that just came out? I sent you a link to...
I don't think you sent me Dan Deacon. The new Dan Deacon song.
Okay, it wasn't recently that I did it. A while ago. He has a new thing out. And there's a video for an older song that just came out.
The video I posted, I saw that one. That was sweet. It's a good song, too.
Mm-hmm.
No, I love Charlie Parr. He doesn't get enough credit. Everybody needs to go see him.
He's just this old weird dude from like Duluth, Minnesota, playing a resonator and a stomp box.
That's awesome.
He's got a nice,
he's
love
so
his
good.
voice.
Yeah,
it's good stuff. A lot of,
some old timey shit, but it's fantastic.
A little gospel-y sometimes.
But it's not.
Not.
I mean,
well,
it's the gospel feel, but it's not gospel-y. And he does a couple of old covers that are very gospel-y, but he's not gospel-y.
Nah, he's not. No, but that's what I was saying as far as some of the stuff he plays.
Yeah, cool.
What you got?
I don't have to do it. I'm the host. I don't have to do it.
Oh, fuck. All right.
No, I haven't been listening.
Whatever's on. Oh, yeah, you can't listen to shit right now.
Oh, yeah. Until Ram and Vaughn gets off their ass and fixes my fucking radio in my truck, I can't listen to anything. No, at work I've been listening to podcasts. That's all I've been listening to.
What podcasts have you been listening to?
Shout out to Armchair Expert. Fucking Dax Shepard.
This is the shout-out episode.
No, it's going to be every episode. We should change the name to Shout Out.
That's going to get real annoying.
Yeah.
Prove it. Prove it.
We will. And ID10T. It's the Chris Hardwick one.
Yeah.
Yeah, really good.
Why are you telling me about that?
Those are both ones I'm really into right now. I actually drained the battery on the work phone today, and I had to stop and buy a cable to plug it in.
It cost like $17 at a gas station.
Probably more than that.
Yeah.
8 feet of cable.
But
that one is over there. Yeah.
It's 4 foot.
That's the one I had.
Shafted.
Yeah, I had to buy that one in
You need the
Oskaloosa one time back in the
Plug it into the trunk.
No, it was cool because I found it because in the truck it plugs into a USB on the radio.
Yeah.
And then I plug it in and it charges it and it plays it. I'm like, well, that's fucking sweet.
Yeah.
I was using the auxiliary plug-in and draining the battery, so I don't have to deal with that anymore. That cable will pay for itself in no time.
Absolutely.
No time. Did we talk about Joretta?
No, we haven't yet.
Well, fucking get on it, girl.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Current projects.
Current.
So after the open micing as Kazuki, I ended up joining Joretta Oaks like in May
Which is?
this year.
Not this year.
Last year.
The
This
band.
last year. I don't know what year it is. Yeah, last year. The band is the brainchild of, I guess. Is that a word? Brainchild?
Sure is.
Yeah.
Brain? All right.
Sure.
It's about to be.
Sure is because you said it. So it's a word. There you go.
Child.
That's how it happens.
We'll email
the
Webster's and let them know.
Music child of. I can't talk. It's Wes Van Antwerp's thing. His newest project.
I don't think brainchild's a word.
Brainchild. It's
Keep
probably
talking.
a thing.
Brainchild.
I don't know why I would say it otherwise.
We're just gonna fact check us.
Music child. It's his music
It's not a
child.
thing either.
Well, is it? I just said it, so it
You
is.
just say it's his project.
Jesus Christ. So it's his project.
All right.
Brainchild.
Yeah.
An idea or invention which is considered to be a particular person's creation. I was going to say, I know that's a word, man.
I know words.
I know things and words.
I was an English
Sometimes
major.
I know sentences.
Can you believe that shit?
No.
Oh, Jesus.
It's true.
Wow.
God damn
How
it.
we missed that in the first episode? Part 1.
Didn't ask the right questions, motherfucker.
I didn't ask anyone to college.
So anyway, yeah, that happened. It was. So I don't even. How did it even happen?
How did it start? You in that group.
Oh, okay. So I had.
Oh, I know how it started.
Yeah.
I was asked. I know exactly how it started.
Holy crap, how did I forget all about this?
I was asked at
Jason.
least 3 times by the original, maybe not the original drummer. I don't know if he was the
Original
one
live
of the
show
drummers, who is the drummer in War I Survived, to play bass, because he kept losing bass players back and forth here and there. And every, I don't know, month or 2, he would get a hold of me and say, "We play bass for Dread Oaks," and I'd turn him down, and he'd ask me again, and I'd turn him down.
Did you listen to that yet?
And then,
did you listen to that yet?
Right. And then I was considering it, and I came over here, and I was talking to you, and I said, "Yeah, you won't. I'm kind of thinking about this," and you told me to. No, that's not your style, bro.
Okay, well let me.
No, bro, don't do it.
Here's a couple of things.
And then like a week later,
It wasn't a week later.
it was like a day later.
It was days.
Yeah.
Literally days.
It was.
No, it wasn't.
I swear
It was.
that was literally days later.
It was.
Days later.
It was like a couple weeks.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, it wasn't. It was days later.
Yeah.
All right, whatever. Anyway, so what happened was, okay, you were so fucking on the fence about it forever. You're like, I don't know if I want to play.
It's just not the style.
Yeah,
It wasn't my style.
And you didn't even listen to it.
Fact. You never
I
sounded
did.
sold on it.
Yeah,
I listened to it.
you weren't sold. You were always so wishy-washy when you'd come over here and talk about it. And you're like, I don't know. I'm playing with Jason, blah, blah, blah. You had something about that.
Oh, like the way I'm being portrayed.
Yeah.
I'm playing with Jason. If Jason's listening.
If he's not, fuck that guy.
He's going to be on an episode.
Yeah, of course he will. But anyway, yeah, you were like, I don't know, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't know, I listened to some of the songs. I feel like it's not your deal. Like, I'm not sure you could get into it. I don't feel like it's totally your style. Also, at the same time, we were doing the
I think
Babraham.
she was
Also,
underselling me.
At the same time, we were doing Babraham Lincoln.
Oh,
And I was like, they are not taking my fucking bass player.
Oh, that's right.
And then she joined it.
Yeah. And then she joined it.
And then it was kind of a joke that even started. Okay, because
I think there was like 10 minutes of my life where I was like, fuck her.
Yeah, I'm sure there was 10 whole minutes.
You deserved that.
Yeah, it's
All
true.
10 minutes.
Yeah, you did. But like, okay, so I had never even played bass ever before.
Welcome.
But when you describe it as like take a
sure.
guitarist and give him a lobotomy, I mean,
You can get
So I'm like, oh, I got this.
decent
I
bass
got this
player,
shit. So you brought a bass over, and I had you play bass along with me for a couple things I was working on.
It's still here too.
And you left it here because I'm like, I want to kind of mess around with it if that's cool. And you're like, yeah. And so they lost their bass player, Dretta Oaks did, and I was just kind of messing around, like joking around with Jason, like, hey, well, if you guys don't get a bass player, maybe I could figure it out. I've heard bass is pretty easy. Like,
By the way, Cole told me he doesn't want to play with you anymore.
And then they had a couple people trying out and this and that, and then like I had Wes working on a guitar or something at the time, and I went over to pick it up from him, and like that the day before or the weekend before or a week before, they had to actually like split up because of a thing. So like Jason and Elgin, not like they weren't playing at all. So Wes was looking for all new people to back him.
Whole new group.
And I'm like, man, it's too bad that you guys broke up, because I was telling Jason, like, if you still needed a bass player and your tryouts weren't working, I'd give it a shot. And he's like, really? I'm like, yeah, I was just dicking around. But then like a week or two later, Wes messaged me. He's like, so do you want to try out for bass? And I was like, I guess. Give me 3 songs to listen to and learn. So he gave me 3 songs, and I listened to them, and I used your Ibanez bass that's here, and just fucking figured them out. And I went in there, and Matt Cravens was playing drums and played a couple songs, and I remember they were just looking at each other like, hey, okay, so there's a show next month. Do you want to play? And I'm like, well, I guess. Sure. That's what happened. So I've been playing bass with Dretta Oaks since then. The first show was in June.
And now there's been a little bit of a member change again, right?
Do what?
There's a little bit of a member change again. Matt's not drumming now.
So it was just Matt and Wes and I, and then Elgin, after that show, he was at that show, and he came back and started playing guitar,
so
and he's so good. So he's in, and then Matt left in August, I think it was. And so we, for a while, we were like, well, fuck, what are we going to do? Because we had a show in Iowa City at Gabe's we wanted to play. We were all really stoked about it. And it was like 2 weeks away from the time that Matt left. So we're like, well, we might have to cancel it. But we still went, Elgin and I still showed up for practice at Wes's house that night. And like, Wes and Elgin were like, well, we have this whole set that we've done. Like, it's chill. It's just us on guitars and vocals. And I'm like, well, I can try to learn a couple songs on bass. And after the second one, I'm like, I can't fucking learn all these songs in 2 weeks, like in 2 practices or whatever. So I just sat down behind the drum kit, and Wes was like, pick up those shakers. And so like had some maracas. So I did, and just kind of like went along. And then the second song after that, like I just started playing the drums. Just picked up and just started like playing basic shit. And
second nature.
Yeah, and they just looked at each other and looked back at me and they're like, whatever you're doing, it's working. Keep doing that. And then so I was a drummer for a couple shows. It was really chill stuff. And then now we have Brendan Hittner playing drums, and we're rocking again. He was with TV Cop, and now he's with us. And yeah, well, we have a show next month with you guys, The War I Survived.
15th
So that'll be fun.
Shout out Palisters.
Yay. Yeah. Shout out Wes Olson. What?
Do you think he listens?
Maybe
someday.
Probably. Maybe. We'll ask him. So yeah, that's
cool. And you got some other weirdo project. You decided to write some music, and you threw those guys in on it, right?
Got a project.
You haven't named that one. You haven't named that one?
We haven't named it yet. We've been going back and forth. You know how hard it is to name shit.
No, it's easy.
We've been going back
I'll
and forth for a while.
Don't worry.
So
it's called Melanakis.
Ooh, yeah, okay. It's some stuff I've been writing on guitar and actual lyrics. Like I've actually been writing lyrics and singing and stuff. In the last practice, I ended up kind of screaming some shit, and it surprised me.
Oh yeah, you were telling me that.
It surprised me quite a lot, but it's gonna be awesome. So
you need to take it easy on that.
Yeah, I'm figuring out. I'm learning how to do that. But like, so it's me, guitar and vocals. I got TP and TV Cop on bass, and then Wes Van Antwerp is playing drums. And it's just a 3-piece, kind of punk oriented indie rock. You know, with a lot of 90s influence shit. Like,
90s.
A whole lot of distortion.
Shout out to the 90s.
Loudness. Shout out to the 90s. So yeah, that's that. We're going to try to get together this weekend and work some more stuff out. And we're hoping to be ready by summer for sure. Yeah. Like, play some shows and stuff. So
cool. I just remembered something that I said. We talked about. We briefly mentioned where the War I Survived name came from earlier, about the slats. I said I was going to come back to the slats for a second, and I just now remembered what it was.
Oh, yeah.
So there was, it was the War I Survived second tour, and I don't remember where we were going. We were in the van, and it was dark. We were driving somewhere, and Jason's driving, as he always does, because he doesn't drink. Nolani's in the passenger seat. Nick, myself, and JJ Studebaker are in the 2 back seats. And for some reason, when we're hammered, for some reason, we turn on the slats and we start moshing in the van. And
to the slats.
And
awesome.
We're going over the seats and just hitting each other and running into each other and rolling over the seats, and it would stop for like 5 seconds, catch your breath, go again. For 2 Slats albums that happened, and we came out of it. I'm pretty sure I cracked a rib. Jason or Jared kind of fucked his nose up a little bit. We all had bruises. I call it the moshing machine, because it was kind of like a washing machine over turn over and over.
Washing machine.
That was probably the dumbest thing I've ever done.
That sounds real dumb.
So it's really stupid, but I'll never forget it. I think it was somewhere in Illinois. I don't know. So, yeah.
If I were Jason driving that bullshit, I'd be kind of pissy.
He was laughing his ass off. Yeah, he was loving it. Of course, he was just sitting up front listening.
And it's the Slats. Yeah. He played drums with them a couple times. We'll have to talk to him about that. Yeah, that'll be fun.
He's got
such a good band.
He's got a big resume.
Mm-hmm.
Get him in here.
That'll be a fun one.
That will be fun.
Could be a two-parter, possibly.
Next time we're gonna have Wes in here.
We're gonna get Wes in here as long as he doesn't get the fear.
The fear.
Yeah, the fear.
We're gonna get him liquored up.
That's what I told him. He's like, I'm down, but I might get the fear. And I'm like, dude, that's why I'm asking you to come after an open mic, because I know you'll be
in front of people.
You'll be lubed up with a couple
Primed and
beers.
ready to
Yeah,
go.
and he's like, all right, we'll see. And then he did a thumbs up.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
he gets the fear.
We'll get him lubed and
We'll ask him about that
Sit him
too.
in the hot seat.
Hot seat, all lubed up.
sit him in the hot seat.
Shit, son.
You got anything else? No?
No.
No? I think it was good. Yeah.
All
All
right.
right. It's boom.
Boom. That's it.
Ba-bam. Bye-bye.
Boom the thing.
It says boom on the paper.
Boom. Oh, we wrote boom at the bottom.
Done. Boom.
Done. Boom. Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.